Chapter 13 Divine Vision, Divya Bhav. Once we realize and accept that the Pratyaksh Swarup has attained an equivalence and identification with the Parbrahm and is in permanent communion with God, He will begin to purify our entire being. The intensity and speed with which we are purified will depend on our own capacity and endurance. He will begin to eliminate our innermost characteristics, which include sattvagun, tamogun, rajogun, etc. During the process of purification, the Gunatit Swarup will utilize devotees as his instruments. We must acknowledge that this is a phase of our sadhana. The devotees are all innocent. They are instruments of the Lord, and we must continue to perform seva and japa-yajna. At the same time, we must force ourselves to practice and maintain Divya Bhav. This will make the whole purification process much easier to bear. Nothing else other than Divya Bhav helps with the purification process. Thus, let us practice Divya Bhav sincerely. Chapter 14 Worship for Staunch Devotees. Rashtavada Mate Bhajan. The devotees who surrender wholeheartedly to the Gunatit Swarup without any reservations whatsoever and are accepted by the Gunatit Swarup, whereby the Swarup feels the devotees truly belong to him, are known as Drashtavada Mukto. These Drashtavada Mukto believe that the Gunatit Swarup holds a most important place in their hearts. The devotee considers the Swarup to be his Atma, soul. Without the Swarup, the devotee could not exist. Thus, wherever the devotee may be, he will always hold a strong consciousness that he belongs to the Swarup and will live every moment in order to please the Swarup. How should such devotees worship the Lord? If this is understood clearly, then they will experience nothing but joy and will not suffer any distress or misery in their sadhana. The lives of all devotees who are associated with Yogiji Maharaj, i.e. Santo, Vratdhari sisters, Vratdhari brothers and married couples, are controlled by Brahm, God. Once the Gunatit Swarup accepts the devotee as his own, he takes complete responsibility for molding his spiritual character and purifying his ego. In order to achieve this, the Gunatit Swarup instigates various circumstances and events which may cause severe distress to the devotee. The Gunatit Swarup takes full responsibility for everything concerning the devotee. The devotee should simply observe events, circumstances concerning himself or others as a witness, because he will have no idea of what to do. The Gunatit Swarup is spiritually more powerful, and it is he who has inspired such events. When he initiates dire circumstances in order to purify the negative traits, thereby, the devotee should endeavor to remain happy. Whatever the devotee does to maintain serenity and avoid becoming distraught is worship. The devotee should also bear in mind the following point. Our intellect is such that it causes us to take offense of God and His devotees. It will not allow us to accept that God is the Almighty One who inspires everyone and instigates all circumstances. Therefore, when we get the slightest hint that our intellect is about to deceive us, we should instantly tell our mind, "Stop, you are not permitted to make such judgments." If we continue to do this successfully, eventually we will no longer be influenced by our mind and intellect. Gradually, the impurities of the mind and intellect will be dissolved, and we will be able to accept the Lord as Almighty One who controls and inspires all the devotees. Thus, we will accept that the Lord cannot be the enemy of His humble devotees. Das na dushman, hari ke di hoi nahi. Each one of us, according to our fundamental characteristics, Ang, should do whatever is necessary to remain happy during our sadhana. Chapter 15 An Aspirant, Sadhak. If the actions or behavior of a devotee irritate or annoy you, then it is your own weakness or shortcoming. Even if you cannot accept this, it is important not to use your mind and intellect to judge the behavior of other devotees. You have no reason or legitimate excuse to ponder upon others' faults. The only way to refrain from doing this is to pray sincerely and perform seva with Mahatmya. The perfect aspirant is one who practices this with conviction and sincerity. Everyone, be they old or young, must make a conscious decision never to participate in criticism or gossip. If you happen to be present where any form of criticism or gossip or negative discourse is taking place, leave immediately. Do not listen to such malicious talk, do not allow it to continue, and under no circumstances should you participate with enthusiasm. If it is inappropriate or impossible to leave, then you should certainly make it clear that you disapprove and begin to chant the Swaminarayn mantra. Chapter 16. Patience, Religion and Spiritual Knowledge. Dhiraj, Dharma and Jnana. Dear Sadhak Mukto, please listen to my testimony which I declare to you after 15 years of experience. If your intended plans are disrupted, affecting you to the extent that you feel disheartened, always believe that it is for the best. Always maintain a positive attitude, patiently wait and watch. One must refrain from analyzing or reaching a judgment on the situation. If we remain patient and pray, we will eventually witness the best possible outcome and we will thank Maharaj for it with gratitude. One should always accept that each incident and occurrence has been inspired by the Lord and should take an optimistic view. Chapter 17. Ritual of Prayers. Sud-upyog. Whether we are studying, going to work, looking after the family, running a business or a farm, we all have a duty to perform. Besides performing the duty, we should try to spend some time during the day performing sud-upyog, which entails praying, meditating and chanting the Swaminarayn mantra. We should begin devoting 5 or 10 minutes a day for prayer, gradually building up to 30 minutes. In Vachramat Gadra Madhya 62, a devotee asked Maharaj, "Can a person who remains engrossed in mundane worldly affairs and commits various sins be redeemed of them if he engages himself in the devotion of God for merely a moment or two?" Shree Maharaj replied, "Even though he remains totally engrossed in mundane worldly affairs for the whole day, when he experiences a devotional mood, if he sincerely concentrates his whole being, i.e., Indriyas, Antakaran and Jiv, and focuses them on God, losing all worldly consciousness, then he will be redeemed. Even if he remains engrossed in God for only a moment or two, all his sins will be obliterated." The difference between Dhoon and Japyagna. Dhoon. When performing Dhoon, we may chant the Swaminarayn mantra or any other mantra with intense concentration, losing all worldly consciousness. The mantra is not necessarily spoken clearly and may become a long, resonating sound. This is a form of meditation. Japyagna. When performing Japyagna, it is necessary to chant the mantra clearly and continuously, such that concentration and awareness are maintained. This occupies the mind and prevents other thoughts from arising. Furthermore, Japyagna performed in this way will help to neglect all other thoughts and maintain a calm, serene mind. This is also a form of meditation. We should practice performing sud-upyog. One who regularly performs sud-upyog is a devout follower of the Swaminarayan faith. If we spend half an hour daily performing Dhoon or Japyagna as described above, we will gradually achieve a spiritual sense of oneness with Brahm, and eventually all our worldly desires will cease. We will constantly remain submerged in the consciousness that we belong to the Satpurush. After some time, we will be able to spend half an hour every morning and every evening meditating on the image of God. Our goal will be attained when we can begin sud-upyog and instantly meditate on the image of God. Whilst performing sud-upyog, we should remain engrossed in meditation, and if we should conceive any thoughts, they should be analyzed. If they are thoughts pertaining to worship or seva, then one should indulge. If the thoughts pertain to other aspects of our life, then we should endeavor to purge them from our mind. Gradually, we will be able to meditate on the image of God without any interference whatsoever. This is our ultimate aim. Constant practice of Jap Yagna guarantees a sense of calmness, tranquility and serenity. The mind will only conceive thoughts of worship or devotional service, seva. Feelings and thoughts of jealousy, hatred, pride, etc. will be rejected by the mind. When we have mastered this, we will have reached the end of our sadhana. Jai Swaminarayn.